Akhanda Mandala Karam Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshanam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mandala. So we are going to talk about the mandala, the secret of mandalas. The word comes from, it's generally supposed to mean a circle. The word comes actually from manda, which means abode, to dwell. From there, that word mandir has come. You know, in Hinduism, there was a great, you can say, effort in trying to get one word to fit all descriptions of the universe. If you want to know Hinduism, what is Hinduism? Many people, they're kind of confused. You take up any word and it will describe reality in its comprehensive way. No small bits and pieces here. All of the philosophy, all of the doctrines are not the bits and pieces. You take one word, and one of the word is like mandala, or we're just discussing samsara. It's a comprehensive word. Even if you take the word karma, it's a comprehensive, it explains everything. It explains you, me, and the trees, plants, animals, birds, everything. It explains gods and demons and humans and everybody. So this word mandala is so comprehensive. So this is what it is. What is the mandala? Oh, we know it now. It's a kind of a circle. Okay. But it's more than a circle. It's a pattern. The human mind, one of the principles of the human mind works is it works according to patterns. It seeks patterns. All our thinking is in patterns. Our biases are patterns. Everything is in patterns, and we like to be in a pattern. You remove us out of the pattern and makes us feel uncomfortable. So this circle, what is a circle? For one thing, the whole of nature works in a circle, a pattern. Everything is cyclic. It rises in the morning, sun rises, sets. There's a birth and a death. There's creation and destruction. There's attachment and there's aversion. Everything is moving in a circle. Cycles and cycles and cycles. Your day, your night, your moments, your time, everything moves in a circle. Swami Vivekananda says, 1,000 years a city, 1,000 years a forest. So from mountains, we get what is there, the whole thing is eroded and we get a whole new delta. And in time, that delta becomes a mountain and the mountain becomes a delta. Everything is cyclic. That is the reason why everything is alive. If everything is stock still, everything will collapse and die. Nothing is stagnant in the universe. Okay. So this is the first principal idea of a mandala. Okay. So there is an inner dynamism to the pattern. And it has to be taken as an integral whole. Everything is a part of the whole. No part of a pattern is irrelevant. It is relevant to the whole. You think your life is useless and meaningless. Most of us think like that. But no, it is part of a larger pattern. So it has a meaning. People want, what's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is a mandala. You are part of the mandala. You remove one part and everything collapses. Okay. Now, when we talk about, especially in logic, and you can see, especially in Western philosophy, when we see a particular thing, we want to know its origins. Where did it come from? And they always brought out an agent which is God created the world, but he's outside it. He has got nothing to do much about it. Only thing, he keeps an eye on us, but God is outside. Everything has an idea of the first cause as external. Most of our thinking also is like this. Oh, I'm here. Oh, God, I hope he looks at me. I hope he prays. I'm praying for him. See, we have also thrown out God away from our lives and away from the universe, outside. That is a mistake. Hinduism does not allow this. It completely brings in the idea of God as immanent first. Immanent. It is immanent here. And if this was not true, everything else is a lie. So when God is brought in creation, creator and creation are one. Don't ever think that God has got nothing to do with this creation. Creation and creator are one. And when you say one, God is infinite. So creation also is infinite. There is no point in the world started at this point of time. Creation started at this point of time. No, we do not have this concept. We have a cyclic concept. Then what we have, Srishti, Sthiti, and Pralaya. Srishti, Sthiti, and Pralaya. Like the whole tree comes out of the seed, and then it goes back to the seed, and again comes out. So if you say, what is the tree? The tree is the seed expanded. And what is the seed? It is the tree compressed. So everything is cyclic. Okay. Now this is more or less kind of clear. So if everything in this universe, including you, your body itself, is a mandala. Oh yes. See, because every cell in your body is like a mandala. There are trillions of cells, and all this, even the coronavirus is like a mandala. You notice? Yeah, coronavirus also like a mandala. So what we are is our bodies. Life is a pattern also, cyclic pattern. The mind is a pattern. Everything is a pattern. So instead of searching for a mandala outside, you have to search for the mandala inside. It is here. If it is not here, it cannot be outside. Okay. So the earth also is a mandala. The solar system is a mandala. The galaxy is a mandala. The whole galaxy is a mandala. Everything is a huge mandala. Can you imagine this? And that's what I was telling Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest. It has to follow that same pattern. It cannot be otherwise. If you have it in the Anu, it will have to be the Mahata. What Swamiji had said in one of his experiences in Almora, he experienced that fact that the scripture that is saying that a microcosm and the macrocosm are built on the same plan. You know that incident where Swami Vivekananda in Almora, he says, I have seen the universe in an atom. He had an experience at Kakarighat in Almora. And he says, he writes in a diary, one of my greatest problems in life has been solved. I have seen the universe in an atom. This is what is called mandala. Okay, fantastic, isn't it? So you have your bodies, your life, your mind. It's all in a kind of a pattern. It's functioning. So if everything is a mandala, where is the basis, the source? Now you can see we are made of a combination of two things. We are conscious right now. At the same time, you feel we are bodies also. Who can say we are not bodies? We are bodies and we are minds. We have a name and we have a whole history, we have stories and huge stories we have. So we are a mixture of mind and matter. Or you can say Purusha and Prakriti. Or you'll say consciousness as well as matter. So we are a combination of both. Okay. Now, this is important because the mandala also is a diagram. You have a Devi mandala, you have a Shiva mandala, and you have so many, every god and goddess has a mandala. It is a diagram. Now, what is a diagram? It is the movement of consciousness from the gross to the subtle, goes inside and inside and inside. It's in the center of every mandala is a bindu. Notice? So from the bindu emerges actually the mandala, and in the bindu it again merges. So this constant dynamism is there. It comes from one source, expands, merges back in the source. This constant movement is there. The whole tree comes out of the seed and goes back into the seed. Human beings come out of the seed, go back to the seed. The whole tree of life has come from one life form, has come and will go back to the life form. Om arises from that bindu, nada. Om, and goes back to the bindu. So everything is, so we are traveling from matter to the source, consciousness. Consciousness, when it appears in its diverse form, appears as matter. So you see, it is only consciousness that has life, has a pattern. So there are two principles called pravritti and nivritti. The circling forward, which is called pravritti, and circling inwards, nivritti. These are the interplay of dynamism of the matter and the mind. So when we are asked to meditate on the mandala, what are we doing? We are trying to go from the various four corners or four gates of the mandala towards the center. And if you have seen those mazes, when children, in the gardens, they go to a maze and then they go round and round and round, and then they have to find their way to the center of that maze. So similarly, we are traveling through our lives, through our thoughts, through our words, from the outer limits of the mandala to the inner limits, slowly, 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 slowly. So the mandala becomes the map. It's a map of consciousness. Okay, I think this is kind of clear. It is a map of consciousness. It is a map of your life. You are supposed to travel all these places. But how do I know? I do not know where to go, what to do. When I close my eyes, I see only blackness. Darkness, nothing I can see. As you keep on diving deep inside, you will find your way actually through consciousness inside into the center. Yes, because we are living a very surface life, because our prayers and meditation are just on the surface, we do not realize the depths in our own, you can say, hearts. You know, Carl Jung was a great kind of psychologist and philosopher. Today's popularity of Mandala in the West was due to him. He bought out this whole idea of Mandala. And of course, because of Tibetan Buddhism, it became popular also. Now, what Carl Jung tried to say, he used to see patients and he used to cure them. How? By making them draw mandalas. And according to their drawing, he could tell whether this person is psychologically unstable or no. The way you draw your mandala will tell a trained therapist whether there is some problem in your mind or in your body or in your life, in your relationship, everything. It's revealed. So we got, how do these people know then? Yes, there is a pattern in your life and that pattern has been disturbed. Those who can detect it can detect it. And they take a corrective measure. So please, you do it like this, do it like that. So Carl Jung, and he of course studied Hinduism, and of course he never quite acknowledges the contributions of India, but he did study Indian mythology and this and that. He did meet some of our, you can say, monks in the West. He also met some of our monks when he came to India. So remember, this mandala is now a map of your consciousness. Simple. Now, mandala, when it is used as architecture, it is called a yantra. So, every temple has an architecture. It has to follow the principles of a mandala, intersecting mandalas. A temple outside is nothing but a representation of your body, as well as a representation of the universe. Oh yes, this is very important. So when we go to the mandira, which comes from the word mandala, what happens is you are going to a place which represents the universe. And what is in the universe? Yeah, there is a God in the Garbhagriha, Sanctum Sanctorum. So in your heart, that God also resides here. That's why they say, Tamakratu Pashyati Vita Shoko. There it is found in the depths of your heart, that God who is there. Okay? Because the temple and the human body and the universe are just symbols. So this is the visible symbol of the universe. Okay? So when you have a mandala and then you have a yantra, then you have something called the mantra also. Okay, mantra also, every mandala has a mantra. It's a sound symbol. You've seen sound when it is played on a surface, everything on the surface forms into a pattern. Suppose you have a table and you spread some grains of sand or some wheat flour or whatever, and beneath the table or side of the table, you start tapping it, or in a musical rhythm, you will find all those grains forming into a pattern. sound is a pattern. You know, so that mandala, when it is drawn on a piece of paper or with rice powder or something like that, it is a visual representation of the mantra which is audible. So every yantra is associated with the mantra. Okay. And the whole thing is now with the tantra. Tantra is nothing but tantrayate, that which spreads. The truth that spreads. Okay. Mantra is that which protects you. So everywhere you have this kind of meditation. Is it an esoteric meditation? Yes. You have to be initiated into it. Like take for example, in South India we have this what is called the Sri Yantra. The Sri Yantra is a very, you can say, esoteric form of spiritual practice. And there has to be a kind of an initiation into the mysteries. Otherwise, you might step out of the path and go somewhere else. So what is meditation? Meditation is actually resetting all the mandalas in your body. So you have every cell in your body itself is a mandala. In the tantras, again, you have Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya, and Sahasra. These are chakras in the body. I hope we know all these things. Yeah. Chakras. What are chakras? Chakras, nothing but mandalas. So here you have, so one chakra is awakened and it awakens the second one. And the second one awakens the third one. The third one awakens the fourth one. So this is the dynamism of the mandala in our body. So how do we get out of it? There's no getting out of it. Simple. So there is also, it's called the balance. Everything is balanced. I will just again to come back to the whole point. Anoraniyan mahatomaya, smaller than the smallest, anu, and greater than the greatest. So this disparity, how do you account for it? No, it's always in balance. There is no contradiction. In the universe, there is no contradiction. It's all a balance. From the gross, it becomes subtle. From the subtle, it becomes gross. From matter, it becomes spirit. From spirit, it becomes matter. From the Purusha, it becomes Prakriti. From Prakriti, it becomes the Purusha. The whole thing is a kind of a cycle. Slowly. So now what do we do? How do we get into this? So you have, every one of us has to make their own mandala joined to the mandala of the universe. We have kind of disassociated ourselves from everything else because think, oh, I am so and so and this and that and this, and I'm a big guy, I'm that. I come away from the reality. The idea is to get back to the reality. And as I get back to the reality, then it becomes quite easy. So again, to start the point again, mandala is that which is an abode, a sthana. It is a place where you actually abide. You actually abide in your mandalas. But we do not know it. Why is the mystery? The mystery is because we have not been told how to get into this rhythm There's a rhythm in life. There's the rhythm. Every cycle, everything has a kind of a rhythm. So this, we have stepped out of the rhythm. You have to come back to the rhythm. Once you come back, then automatically you start moving into that. So as you keep on doing your nama japa, or you do meditation, what you are doing is now you're resetting yourself. You had gone astray and now you're coming back. This coming back is important. The mandala, secondly, can never be destroyed. It is indestructible. It cannot be destroyed. You might take that piece of paper. People who have psychological problems, they are asked to draw a mandala, and they draw, and then the psychologist sees, oh, there's some problem with depression or anxiety or stress or whatever, and they're asked to take that picture and burn it. It's symbolic, but you are burning only a piece of paper. You're not destroying it, because the mandala is indestructible. You cut it, break it, it will regenerate again. You completely destroy it, it will again regenerate it. So it has the power to regenerate. It has the power to make you. So what happens in our mind is, when we start meditating and repeating the mantra, what happens is our minds now becomes more and more integrated. And as they become more and more integrated, this is the work of the mandalas. It takes over. It automatically takes over. You don't have to do anything. Once you push, you start the car, and then the car runs by itself. You don't have to do anything much, because it is a pattern. You have got into a pattern. So this is how the whole of this cosmos is nothing but a reflection of your own life. In Hindi they say, Bindu mein Sindhu. That is, when you see the whole of this ocean in a drop of water, your knowledge is complete. Till that time, it is incomplete. So when you can see the cosmos in you, and you in the cosmos, your knowledge is complete, you become now the perfect mandala. Okay? You have become one with it. What will happen to me? What happens to you? Nothing will happen to you. You will be what you are, the reality. Carl Jung talks about the integration of the shadow, saying we have a self and we have a shadow self. And we have to integrate the shadow within ourselves. There are many things in us we can do, but we don't do. So there are many powers that we have, but we don't utilize. There are many sides of our personality that we have, which we don't actually, you can say, expose it to the world. Like we always live double lives. We have one thing here and we have another thing there, always. So you bring all these things together. This is the integration. And this is integration. Then the mandala, the mystic, you can see, secrets will flash by themselves into your own consciousness. And slowly you move from that periphery to the center. This is the movement of consciousness. So your mind is a map of consciousness. All these meditations that we do are nothing but maps of consciousness. All education, all culture, everything are maps leading us to the reality. There are some which are partial. Cultures are partial expressions of the reality. Education is a partial expression of the reality. What really is comprehensive is the mandala, the secrets of the mandala. It can tell you secrets from the smallest to the greatest, from the past to the present, the big and the small. It is all kind of tied together. So that's the reason why the more you think of yourself as part of the whole, your immanent, the more integrated your life becomes. The more you feel you are separate and you are alone and you are this and that. You know, today's society has got this problem. We are living in a society, crowds everywhere, but yet we are alone. We are all alone. Nobody understands me. Nobody loves me. Nobody this, nobody that. Well, you never loved anybody. Why should everybody love you? You never bothered about anybody. Why should others bother you? So you go and love others, others will love you. Go out and serve others, others will come and serve you. You must bring others into your life. Your small life then will break. The small life will break and it will become larger and larger and larger and larger till it covers society and a community, and then you have the whole world. When you can expand and contract according to your own will, you are living the mandala. It's as simple as that. So that's why you say, when you go to a temple, what do? You do parikrama, circumambulate, isn't it? That also is nothing but, yeah, you are like a kind of a satellite. You're going around. Okay. You're always keeping God to your right. That's why you circumambulate. You go to the left and then you turn and so always you keep God always to your right. That is your dominant side. So we are already, actually, the teachings in when we are young and which we should do in the childhood, it has not come into our daily life. If we can circumambulate with our thoughts and words and deeds God, then everything becomes divine. Okay. Connect everything with God. Okay, I did this. Okay, at the end of the day, I offer everything to God. Okay, this is what it is I did for you. Okay. That's connecting. That is circumambulating. Whenever you're thinking of hundreds of things, think about God's blessings, God's grace, His mercy, His love, His compassion. Oh, wonderful. That you're connecting. So this is the practice of mandala in real life. In meditation, of course, when we meditate, we are going from outside, we are going inside. That is again the movement of the mandala. And it never goes in a straight line from outside, from point A, I go to point B. No, that point A to point B goes in a spiral. Okay, everything goes in a spiral. The earth is going round and round in a spiral. You're falling down in space over and over and over and over. You're going round and round. So when you meditate, you do anything, you're going round in a spiral and then you're going back to the center. So that going round in a spiral is that path of the mandala, going inside deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Then you come to the center, and then you find at the center, what is at the center? What about me? Oh, you're not there. You're definitely not there. Then you'll find God. Your reality is now fixed in God. But what will happen to me? Nothing will happen to you. If a drop of water starts shouting, I'm going to get killed, I'm going to get lost, and as it is falling in the ocean will say, you're a fool. You emerged from here only and you're coming back and you're shouting about it. And in this present day world where everything is so much emphasized, laid stress on individuality. The more you have this individuality business, the more you'll have mental problems. Oh yeah, half of your mental problems are due to this kind of huge stress on individuality. No religion, no moral code, no ethics, no aspect of dharma talks about you. It talks about we. And the whole morality is nothing but naham, tu, not I, but you. This is how we go about our lives. Take a thought briefly now and then of what you are doing. There's something called your thought and you can say memory awareness. Thought, belief, awareness. Try to connect everything to the deity. And do I have to go to the temple every time? No, that deity is there within you. They're sitting down. Esha sarvesha bhuteshu gudo atmana prakashate. This Atman is in all beings and it's not revealed to all. Drishyate grayad. It is seen by those of subtle pointed intellects. So as we keep on thinking of this mandala, our focus will shift from this I to the whole pattern of existence. So this is a wonderful word, mandala. It describes the whole of reality. If whole of Hinduism had to be destroyed today, everything, and if the word mandala exists, we can again rebuild Hinduism on the basis of this one word. Like Swamiji says, no? Even if all the scriptures and everything is destroyed in India, if one word, Sita, if it remains, we will again write the whole scriptures and the whole Ramayana, the whole Mahabharata, everything. Just one word. Yeah. So similarly, this one word itself is there. That power is there within you, within everything, everyone. Tap in that power. Suppose I say, okay, now you've got $1 million. Okay, I am giving you $1 million. What will you do? You know what you will do. And I know what you will do. But there are some people who are given $1 million and they will take it and keep it under their bed. They won't even put it in the bank. They don't trust the bank also. So then they put it and they will forget it. Not only forget, they will not utilize it. So this world is a mandala, this word is a mandala, and you are a mandala. Once you know the secret, utilize it. Or you will take that $1 million and keep it under your bed and, okay, oh, that Swami Satyamayananda, he spoke about it, something. Yeah, nice it was. Okay. We need to slightly awaken ourselves. I'll stop here for you all to now engage with me if you have any questions. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Shivani. Yes.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Swamiji, your talk came at a very interesting time for me because just last week I was reading a book on Tibetan Buddhism. And of course, there's a whole lot mentioned about mandala, the physical aspects of the mandala. The descriptions are sometimes so intricate. And then when you come to the tantric part and they talk about, the chosen deity, a mantra, the recitation, it reminded me, I'm not initiated yet with Vedanta, but it reminded me of the initiation process of the Vedantic order. There were so many similarities. However, in the Vedantic order, in the Ramakrishna order, there is no mandala as such, a physical one, is there? It was a curious question that came to my mind and I thought I have to ask you.
Like you're saying, there in the Vedantic traditions, we don't meditate on the mandalas. We meditate on the mantras, which is the audible part of the mandalas.
Okay.
Secondly, what happens is there are, compared to a trained teacher, there are 100 fake teachers teaching this mandala meditation. So you have to be very careful whom you learn with. Because what happened, there is a long period of discipleship and then you are initiated into the mysteries of the mandala, especially in Tibetan Buddhism. So otherwise we might go in a tangential way outside. Every 12 years, in Tibetan Buddhism, we have something called the Kala Chakra.
Yes.
Yeah, so Kala is time, Chakra is circle, the circle of time. And they take so much, you can say, effort in drawing this mandala, and then the Dalai Lama, whoever comes and he destroys it. So again, it's it. So that, it is meditation on that. When you're doing that mandala, you are, as it were, meditating. Okay. That's why this mandala drawing is a form of meditation. So you have to be trained into that. As you slowly get into it, your psychic self awakens. So in Vedanta, what happens? Vedanta is a nice, short, sweet, glamorous path. All that esoteric secret and all is come out, just pushed away. That's what Swamiji said, in this age, everything should be scrutinized by science. It should be broad, it should be open, it should be applicable to everyone. Vedanta is for everybody, while Tibetan Tantric Buddhism is meant only for the few. Yeah. So you say what the Vedanta and our Vedanta order, the Ramakrishna order, yeah, the mantra itself is remember, is a mandala. Sri Ramakrishna itself is a mandala. And you yourself are a mandala. So it is the fusing of these three things. The mantra, you, and Sri Ramakrishna. And then as you keep on repeating, all these three things come together and become one. It's a unification. And once you get into it, there you are. There you are liberated. Okay. So it is for curiosity's sake, yeah, you can kind of go through it. But on the practical level, it's better that you follow the Vedantic tradition.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Shivani.
Swamiji,
Yeah,
Pranam.
Shika.
I was asking Swamiji that mandala is a concept of Hinduism or Vedanta. Is it universally shared by the other religions like Judeo-Christian and others?
They don't acknowledge it, but Eastern religions, they have, in Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, of course, is the mother, and Tibetan, in all Tibetan Buddhism, all this, in all Buddhism, so Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, you see the Nazi symbol, swastika.
Mm-hmm.
What they did, it is actually a chakra. And see how they did it. They did it actually opposite of what we. So that is the mandala. So swastika is the mandala. Yeah. And in the old days, there was this cross, and between the cross there was always a circle. Notice? There's a circle. So everywhere, even if you don't acknowledge it, it's going to come out of your consciousness.
I see.
Whether they want it or no, it's going to come out. Like I said, it cannot be destroyed. It is a part of you. It's a fabric of the universe. So other religions, like they are coming to the understanding of the importance of a healthy mind. And for the healthy mind, it needs integration. And what integrates is meditation. And what meditation? What? On the mandalas. So it comes down to this. So slowly people will come down. Now people talk about I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm a Hindu, I'm a this. Who don't get fooled with all these kind of ones. Everybody has their own religion. Everybody is approaching God to their own path. All these labeling is kind of rubbish. I'm a Hindu, I'm a this, I'm a that. How much of a Hindu are you? I'm 20%. That guy is 80%. Oh, all this is labeling. This world is all labeling. Religion is in your own soul, and you are approaching that reality through your own path. And forget the politics and forget the sociology of religion. All this rubbish. When you come down to the basic reality, your path is completely different from every other path. It's like we are standing on the circumference and we are all going towards the center. There are different radii. So no radii intersect. They are all separate paths going to the center. Okay. So whether they wanted or not, this is going to come in. Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to ask your indulgence. One more question, Swamiji.
Okay.
It came to my mind when you talked about Carl Jung and that he would make his disturbed patients draw a mandala. And there is a test for testing for the memory impairment for people with Alzheimer's disease and dementia that was started in the West by neurologists, and it's called the clock drawing. And so they make you draw a clock, and it depends on how well or how badly you draw it. They can then figure out what's the impairment and where in your mind. And I'm wondering, the clock is like a mandala, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's what. They have adapted it from Carl Jung's practices in Europe. Yeah. But it's everything. It has to form mandala. Everything, even the law of karma has to follow the mandala. You do something, it goes out and comes back to you. I always give the example of you throw a plastic bag or something plastic, and it is coming back to you as microplastics. Be happy. So the microplastics are in your water, in your food, in your air, in your bodies, everywhere. Where does it come from? You throw it out. But I took only one bag, yeah. But there are others throwing all. Your bag went to somebody else's bag comes to you. So that everything follows that circle. So you have to be careful of what we send out. That's how Swamiji says, think good thoughts And those good thoughts will circle around the universe and come back to you. Think bad thoughts, and those things also will come back to you. And after some time, you suddenly realize, why did I do this? What happened to me? I'm such a nice person, but why does accident happen to me? You wish somebody probably has some accident somewhere, something, and this whole thing, that thought went round and came back, and you did not know what hit you. Actually, you hit yourself only. Yeah. So this is morality. Mandala is morality. Mandala is karma. It's a tremendous fact. I've just given you a little hint of what the whole thing is. Thank you, Shika and Shivani. Yeah, Meera.
Swamiji, so then if you said, like the mantra and Ramakrishna Thakur are all different mandalas. So that means there is a different quality of mandalas. Some mandalas are superior to others.
No.
Right?
Have you heard of, in wheel within a wheel, a picture within a picture? You've seen some of those, those, you can say, illusion pictures, right? Like, you see two things together, a man or a woman also sometimes, sometimes, all these kind of things. So there is one mandala, complete. And within that mandala, there are patterns, small or big patterns. If you see any mandala, it is nothing but patterns. So we are part of that, one of the parts of that patterns. So we can be explained only according to the whole. So they are not separate. It's a movement towards the center, So if you keep everything just as it is, nothing will stay as it is. It will disperse. That's the law of entropy. Everything, you lose energy and everything is dispersed. So there's always a movement. So even if you don't do anything in your life, you are slowly being pulled towards the center. If you do it quickly, you will go quickly. That's why in Hinduism they say everybody will attain moksha. Yeah, there are people like you and me who are in a hurry. There are some people, let it be, take 1,000,000 years, no problem. One day I'm going to reach there. So, but then we are saying, oh, why wait for 1,000,000 years? Get it now. So we are. But everybody will attain it. Not only human beings. Every jiva will attain moksha. It cannot be otherwise. It just cannot be otherwise. Otherwise, God will be divisive. He will be partial. Everybody has to become free. Today, tomorrow, day after. So we are all part of that whole. The mantra, you will find, Meera, after you repeat the mantra and you meditate for some time on this, you will find your identity actually, you're losing it as you repeat this mantra. You will lose your identity and the mantra's identity will take over. Always. Okay. So your identity is an assumed identity. The mantra's identity is a real identity. And the nama and nami is abheda. The name and the named are non-different. See, you and Meera are not different, isn't it? When I say Meera, you look at me. So if you say, hey Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna will be, okay, she's calling out to me. Okay, fine. Oh yeah, that's actually it happens. So when you're taking God's name, it is same as God. That's the idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Swamiji, when would I know that I have become Ramakrishna? When would I know?
First, first you will start liking to hear about Ramakrishna, like to think about Ramakrishna. You like to eat like Ramakrishna. Your movements will become like Ramakrishna. Everything will become. And then in the highest states of meditation, you will find yourself as one with Ramakrishna. These are called Bhava Samadhis.
But now I'll still be called Usha, not Ramakrishna. People will still dress me as Usha. They will not call me Ramakrishna. If I do all that.
Yeah. Your real identity is Ramakrishna. Who's Usha? In your previous birth, you were not Usha. And in that previous birth, you were not Usha. Why you have to bother about Usha? Who's Usha?
Okay.
Yeah. You're actually, your reality is Ramakrishna. Why is so many bodies? 80 crore, they say in India. We have taken so many bodies. Do you remember all of them? You can. There is a technique. So you can remember all of them. Why? What's the point in remembering all these things? You remember God. That is the whole thing. So don't worry, Usha. Let Usha go. Let Ramakrishna.
I want to go as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to give a Usha.
Okay, good.
This is Umesh now. This is Umesh here. I want to say namaste to you.
Swamiji, namaskar.
Yeah,
Umesh.
namaste. So you don't have to worry
My
about
try to get rid of Usha. Okay.
So, yeah,
More questions?
We understand that this identity of ours is just on the surface. When you go to sleep, is there any Usha? No Usha is there. So what happened to that lovely Usha? Nothing is there. So all these things are just on the surface. I'm going to speak next month on deep sleep. So, yeah, that's another kind of topic.
Give the name again once about the stories you tell. What the topic? What the name? The stories, the title. What is the name? If I go to
Samsara, the nature of samsara.
Samsara.
Yeah, nature of samsara.
Nature of samsara. Okay, thank you. That's good. It is said that the person you're thinking about, the person you are, kind of close and all that, you do become that. So it's in psychology also this is true. So you are what you think, you are what you follow. So I guess it's kind of makes sense.
Yeah. You are what you think. As you think, so will you become. That's a great saying of the Buddha. So if you want to change your life, change your thoughts. Simple as that. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Swamiji, and one more question. How do you explain Bhavamukha of Thakur using the mandala?
What? Next line.
No, it transcends Bhavamukha. Bhavamukha is the state where it's like standing on the threshold, on the door, between two sides, outside and inside. One side is the absolute, the Paramatman, and this side is the whole of Prakriti, the whole of nature. So that person who stands in the center of these two can experience both the absolute, the Brahman, as well as this creation. Now, how do you experience it? Only when you are identified with the whole of that creation can you stand there? At the same time, you have to identify yourself with the absolute. So that is, it has never been described in the scriptures till now, till today, till Ramakrishna, that there is a state called Bhavamukha. You know, he was told 3 times, stay in Bhavamukha. So, by Divine Mother. So he wanted to plunge inside. Saying, no, stay in Bhavamukha. And when you see Ramakrishna's picture, always remember that this is a picture of a person in Bhavamukha. It's not an ordinary picture. It is the meeting point of the absolute and the relative. This is the greatest picture that ever can be, ever photographed, and ever will be. We don't know about the future. But this represents the entirety of this, you can say, absolute and the relative. So Ramakrishna stands on the threshold there. So who can stand on the threshold? Only God. Ishvara. Not just God. God with hands and feet. Ishvara can stand like that. So Bhavamukha is nothing but a state of Ishvara. Oh yeah. If you can really once a day or 2 times a day just look at Ramakrishna's picture and do namaskar, everything will work for you. You will be saved 100%. And Holy Mother says that like the person and the shadow is non-different, Sri Ramakrishna and his picture is non-different. Oh, it's one of the greatest pictures. He comes out of it. You will see him coming out of it. That picture is alive. So that is Bhavamukha. Bhavamukha, there are various samadhis, one after another, one after another, one after another. There are many people think, oh, there's one samadhi. No, there are many, one after another. So as you keep on going higher and higher, you come to one point where you come and stand there. It is not meant for ordinary mortals. Ordinary mortals cannot stand there. Bhavamukha. Yes, it's only meant for Ishvara, God. Great incarnations. Okay. So that much for Bhavamukha.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you. It's really wonderful. Very different than we have heard from other sources. Very, very different topic. Very nice. Never thought like that.
Yeah. Sri Ramakrishna has come and he used to always pray to the Divine Mother and she used to push all knowledge. So what you have heard is nothing but from the Divine Mother herself. She's pushing on that. Okay. Ordinarily, amongst devotees, I can say this, but generally I will say, all what I've got is from my Guru. Because all knowledge comes from the Guru. That's an old lesson in the Upanishads. That one aspirant, he was sent away, Satyakama, and told to look after the cows, 100 cows till it became 1,000. Because that Guru did not want to antagonize the other students because of he did not know his origins. So he tended the cows with dedication. And when they were 1,000, one big bull in the center says, Satyakama, take us back to your teacher. We are 1,000. I will teach you about Brahman. Teach me, revered sir. And that bull taught him one part of it. He's saying, tomorrow, another bird, Madhu, will teach you another part of Brahman. So he shut towards his teacher's house, and bird came and taught him. And then fire taught him. And so many other, deities taught him. And when he came to the Guru's place, Satyakama, your face shines like a Noor of Brahman. Who has taught you? So, no beings other than men. But I know that knowledge derived from the Guru alone leads to the highest good. Acharya deva vidya vidita sadhishtam. So you teach me. And the Guru taught him that same knowledge that all the deities had told him. So all knowledge comes from the Guru. Even Sri Ramakrishna had to have Gurus. Because there's a maryada of this, you can say, Guru Shishya Parampara. This Guru Shishya Parampara has been in India for the last 7,000 years. It cannot be broken. Simply, if it breaks, India will break. So in order to maintain that maryada, that you can say the prestige and the honor of the Guru Shishya Parampara, so Sri Ramakrishna also had to have gurus. Everybody has to have gurus. And knowledge comes from there only. So where did the parampara start? For us, we say it starts from Narayana. Narayana is the first teacher. So in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it said that Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham. This knowledge I gave, this yoga, to Vivasvan. Vivasvan gave it to Manu, and Manu joined. Now Arjuna is saying, Are you are just you were born yesterday, the other day. How is that? Vivasvan. So there, I lived many times. I remember you also live, but you don't remember. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjana. Anyaham veda sarvani. So it is God himself who comes and starts this Brahma Vidya Parampara Sampradaya. And when things become loose, he comes again to start tightening things up. That is the theory of an avatar. An avatar comes to straighten things up, to make the teachings applicable for the times. So what you have heard from me is what I have heard from my Guru and from my all the other Guru Jans, the elders. So that is what. So me, you wanted to know about introduce myself. In India, in America, you can do it. In India, you should never do it. 1,000 times never. You have to introduce yourself as a disciple of that Guru. Always. Always. People used to write big books and they used to write it in the name of Vyasa. Vyasa, so many Vyasas. What is this Vyasa? So they never put their name there. They put a Vyasa. So this is what it is. Or if you have to put your name, you say, I got all this knowledge from my Guru. So it's always the Guru. Always. Me, nothing. So in America, they say, oh, tell us about yourself. Oh, what is there about myself? How did you come to religion? Come to religion? I was already in religion. Where to come? As if I'd gone out and I came here. No, I'm already in religion.
Swami, Guru is one thing, then there's Upa Guru. I mean, so many other teachers come along. So,
Yeah.
It's okay to get their teachings also then. I mean, you get your Guru mantra from your Guru and blessings from Guru, but then you learn a whole lot from other, Swamis and Gurus, come to your life.
Yes. You can have Upa Gurus. That is that if your Guru is not near you, present near you, then you can have Upa Gurus. But we say, if just devotion to the Guru or to the teacher, your mind then becomes a Guru. Your mind will guide you. The moment your mind becomes a Guru, then everything is okay. Everything. And like Sri Ramakrishna keeps on saying, Guru is only one. Guru is Satchidananda. You cannot have many gurus. And all knowledge and all other things are manifestations of that one guru. Otherwise, one guru will fight with the other gurus. They are all fighting. You get this in America only. One guru is fighting with the other guru. So only if they remember that no, guru is one. It's like the different channels of that power is flowing through certain individuals.
Swami, if your guru is not living and you have deep questions, some deep concerns about your sadhana and all that, then is it okay to go to some other teacher to, get the instructions?
Yes, but I would suggest you meditate on that question, that problem of yours. And then either in a dream or somewhere you will get an answer. Always, always. You always get it like that. So if you don't get it, then you can go and kind of ask. So, there's that book, I don't know if you all have read it, The Alchemist. Alchemist there, yeah, everything is there within you. You start and go out and then you come back to that same old place. So your questions will be answered by that Antaryami, the one who is inside. So just pray to that Antaryami. Give me light. And that Antaryami will reply. Oh yes, definitely. Somebody will say something, or you read something, or you get a dream or your vision, and you will get that answer. Always. Okay. So.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you.
Swamiji, today you mentioned, look at the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, and someday he will come out. So my request to you, bless all of us so that we can see him through his picture.
No, all that thing will not do. There was one great mother's disciple, and Swamiji's initiated sannyasi disciple, Swami Vivekananda. So people used to say, oh, please bless us. He's saying, no, that I'm not blessing. If this power was there, I would bless myself. So you have the power there in your own hand. You bless yourself.
Okay.
Yes, everybody has that capacity. Be blessed, and you will see everything like change.
Thank you.
You see, Sri Ramakrishna is there waiting to bless you all. Go.
Swami, do you know Swami Tathagatananda ji? Have you known him? Swami Tathagatananda ji. He's not living anymore. But he was so funny. I mean, so nice. I could never understand. Whenever he would see someone, and I have experienced myself, he would take my hands and put it on his head. Mother bless me, mother bless me. I mean, who am I to bless Swami like him?
Yeah, so he was like that. He was like that. Was one, but I am of a different category. I said, no.
I mean, I could never understand. I could never understand.
Yeah, even we could not understand him. Don't worry.